Welcome into the daily podcast. Okay, today we are talking about patterns repeating, why this really matters. It really does. I know it sounds boring, but it's actually not. So I was tolerating someone who didn't make time for me. They had time, but they didn't give it to me. And for a short while, I put up with it because I thought it would change. And I just realized the other day why I did it. So that was not healed from my previous relationship. All that I did was wait for a man that was never around. He'd come home and then he'd leave to go golf. He'd come home and then he'd leave to go hang out with friends. It was not around. And to me, my love language is time and touch, both of which, he didn't give to me. So I'm not complaining. My point is that patterns repeat. What we suffer through in other relationships, we will suffer through again unless we heal it, recognize it, and decide, that ain't for me, man. So I left this man, who really there wasn't actually anything there in the first place. I had just, wished that there was. But when you hang on to something emotional, it causes you to slow down. It takes away your momentum because you're giving your energy away to something that is not divine truth, because the truth always sets you free. So this is how you know that it's not truth. So if you've been holding on to something, so this could be anything. This could be anything. I'm sure something popped into your mind if this is you and you're still listening. If you've been holding on to something, you already know that it has caused you to slow down and that it is an emotional drain. And you think, oh man, if I could just, get rid of this one thing, man, I'd have all this extra energy that I could be using for this. And you're right. So what do? Let's say that you've had something and your mind has been tortured with it for a certain length of time. Maybe it's been years and years. Maybe it hasn't been quite that long. Well, I'm going to tell you what I did. It took a lot of effort to let go of all of the negative feelings and pain and hurt around these situations in these relationships. And so the one kept coming to my mind like daily, all the time. And I'm like, what is happening? This needs to stop. So I tell my friend, hey, this is what's going on. And so she tells me, you just need to basically go to their higher self and banish them. And so that is exactly what I did. So I'm going to tell you guys how to do this here, because sometimes your energy will be, it'll be drawn on by someone else, and like unknowingly. And so if this is happening to you, let's say a certain situation, a certain something keeps coming to your mind, and it is torturesome for you, and you want it to stop, then this is how you can do it. So you're going to go take yourself into a meditative state. Easy peasy. We've talked about this a million times. Take yourself into a meditative state. And then once you're there, you're going to go even deeper. So get yourself into that nice state and then count yourself down again and again. And I want you to go deep, deep, deep into your subconscious mind. This is the soul mind. And once you get there, you're going to go to your higher self. And how you do that is just by kind of imagining. So your higher self feels very different than you do right now, because there's no earthly attachments. They're just your pure essence of your soul. So you're going to take yourself into that soul state. And then once you're there, if this involves another person, you could imagine that there's a bench that is there and you invite this other person in. So let's say maybe you have a bitterness towards your parents, something that has happened in the past, and you really want to get over this. Maybe you had abusive parents. Maybe you're still harboring some resentment or some anger, or, some harsh negative frequencies within your system towards somebody else. So perfect, cool. You're going to put them on a bench and you're going to explain to them. You don't even need to explain, but I always need to explain myself. You're going to explain to them, hey, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And then you are going to banish them. or the situation. So this is how you're going to do it. You are going to command it out loud and say, I banish you from my energetic field. I've learned. As long as I've learned all the lessons that I need to learn from you, I now release you and let you go, and you are no longer allowed to attach yourself to my energy. Then you can just envision yourself in this divine, beautiful light around you, and set the intent that now positive, high frequency, high vibrational things will find you and attach themselves to you, or you will allow them to be attached to you instead. Only divine truth. Now, I know that this sounds really simple, and it's like, oh, but how could that work? Well, it does. Because when you involve the divine, then you can change anything. And so when you go into this, when you're going to go and do this banishment, you just ask for divine protection, and that the divine will guide the process, and that the divine will help you to learn whatever lessons that you need to learn, and that the divine will be done. Now, when we command the divine will to be done, the divine will is perfect love. So it's perfect health, it's perfect protection, it's perfect provision, it's perfect nutrition, it's perfect everything that you can imagine. It's perfect because it's perfect love. And so this divine perfect love wants you to be free and wants you to be living in the truth. And you want this for yourself as well. So then you have a double intent, right? The divine wants this for you. You want this for you. And so go in with the belief that of course, the divine is going to help me out with this and free me from this energetic attachment, whatever it happens to be. Now, this could be something to do even with your job. This could have to do with your career. Maybe you have seen patterns repeat in your career. And you're like, frick, this is happening again. Why do I go into these workplaces and there's always just this one person that I have to deal with that's like this negative person, or, whatever your particular situation happens to be, you can banish that, because that is a belief. Just like all these other things are beliefs. They are things that have attached themselves to you through your belief that you have. So you can even ask the divine, I want you to illuminate the beliefs that I have that have allowed these things to come into my life. Because let me tell you guys, when I left my husband of I'd been with him for, almost 25, 24, 23, a million, forever. Been with him for like such a long time. And so you don't actually realize all of these beliefs that you have that have really been dictating your relationships, and not just your relationships, but your entire life. And you get so used to them, like this is just my life, that you don't realize that, oh, but I've created this through my beliefs. So it is very important that when you end a relationship, that first of all, you take some time. Be by yourself. It's a freaking gift, man. It's the best thing in the world. To be alone, it's wonderful. We'll do another video about that, but it's one of my favorite things in the world, to be alone. I love it. And so during that time, which you should be taking, after a relationship, to really grow as a person, it does not matter why it ended, it doesn't matter all the things, but you should be taking some time to become a better person, right? To take all of the things that you had in that previous relationship, to examine them and think, how can I do even better? How can I make this better? And why would you want to do this? Because as you're doing this, you are raising your vibration. You're raising your frequency, because you're letting go of all those low, heavy frequencies that you've been holding within yourself, those vibrations, those beliefs, those thoughts, those emotions. And they really do. Emotional baggage, it is baggage. It's like you're dragging around bags, heavy bags with you, like off the heat. That wouldn't be any sadder if you threw it in a knapsack and drug it around with you. Well, that's exactly what we're doing when we haven't healed these emotional wounds from the past. And so what's going to happen is you're going to go in the future and you're going to find somebody else who's dragging their bags along too. And you're going to be like, yeah, you got bags? Yeah, I got bags too. And then you're going to be dragging your bags along because you're moving at the same pace as other people who are at the same frequency as you, because they're dragging around the same amount of bags. You understand what I'm saying? So when you can let these bags go by healing them and by filling yourself with the truth, which is light, which is filled with love, it is filled with only love, then you elevate your frequency, and then you're going to draw and attract people that are of like vibration and frequency to you then at this point. Now, why did I then attract the same thing again? After I left, and I had healed myself in so many ways. I was this, divine light and filled with happiness and joy and love person. And I'm like, why did I attract this negative thing to myself? Well, it was not a negative thing. So that, situation where I'm talking about of somebody not giving me their time and, really effort and any of the things, not giving me these things, what I was seeing, what I was witness to, and what I was learning from this was I was seeing a repeated pattern from the past that I had not healed, right? I didn't know. I left and I'm like, okay, well, I know for sure that I don't want somebody who's going to cheat on me. I know for sure that I want this. I know for sure that I want that, but I hadn't really got down to the specifics, and I hadn't really got down to the beliefs that I had been holding within myself. I was completely unaware of them. And I bet that you are too, about most of the beliefs in your life, until they're presented to you, until you can recognize, oh, this is a pattern. Oh, this same thing has happened again. Okay, so if the same thing has happened again, then you know for 100% certain that there is a belief that is attached to it. So I didn't even know. Like, I'm telling you, I figured this out the other day. I'm like, why? Why did I put up with this? But I realized because I had an unhealed belief that, the man that I love, that I want to be with, he doesn't have time for me. Makes time for everybody except for me. So what did I see? Well, I've seen this play out again. And so when you can look at the patterns that you have in your life and then you can heal them, well, then what happens going forward is now you have healed this. So now, this go round, now you don't attract this into your life anymore. No, you attract this new, higher, high frequency version of whatever it was that you wanted to you through healing these beliefs. But as long as those beliefs remain unchecked, then you will be going through life and you'll think, why is this happening to me? And you won't understand that it is you and your beliefs that have determined your life because of the choices that you have made. You choose certain things based on the beliefs that you have around you. And if you have a belief in, that you need to put up with so much crap so that you can, have this, or that you need to do this, or that, then it's going to play out. It's going to play out, and it doesn't mean that it's the truth, but it will be your truth. But it doesn't mean that it's divine truth. What it means is you have a belief that you're holding in within you, and you believe it to be true, and therefore it plays out again and again and again. So this could play out, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 times in your life if you don't catch the pattern. And many people do not. They don't catch it. They don't realize that, that this is a repeat. They might see it as a repeat, and all that repetition does for them, because of their unawareness of it, is confirm to them the belief that they have. And they say, see, I knew it. See how I told you this always happens to me? See how I told you this thing always happens to me? And because they speak it, and those words hold vibration, and because they believed it in the first place, which is why they're speaking the words, they then see this play out in their life, and they think, I'm predicting my future because, I believed this thing was going to happen. I told you, this negative thing always happens to me when this thing happens, and then it does. Well, the only thing that you have proven to yourself is your belief. And so because you do this, what a freaking wonderful thing that is. Now you can see that your beliefs really do manifest and dictate your life. So then I guess we better change them. The ones that are detrimental anyways, let's change them to something positive so that we can have a positive outcome. So let's test this out. Find some belief that you are holding within you that has been harming you. Maybe it's that other people, this is pretty common, that, good things happen to other people, but not me. These wonderful, other people are lucky, but, just look at the belief that you have in your life. I don't want to speak these things out loud, but you know where I'm going with these. I don't want to say them. But look at those beliefs that are seriously detrimental to you, that have been true to you up until this point, that have actually played out in your life. Of like, maybe I, make a big investment, but then this happens. Or why do these people make these investments? And they make huge, huge money off of it. Why has this not, happened to me? So, something along those lines. Okay, well, look at the belief that is underlying there. I just basically said it. That other people, things happen to other people, and woe is me. So then go in and find that belief, the woe is me, and eradicate it. Destroy it. Get rid of it. If you cannot do it on your own, I can help you. This is what I do. But you can do this. Go into your subconscious mind and eradicate every single limiting belief. And let me be your guide. Here, I have the Mental Cleanse series. Go in there, find one. Pick the thing, start working through the stuff. It really changes lives. It changes people's lives, because when you change your belief, you change your life. There's no way about it. There's everything on the Mental Cleanse series. There's past lives. You can go in there, you can see your past lives, because, some people don't believe that those are significant. They maybe don't even believe in them, which I didn't used to, until I started doing my work and seeing and experiencing it for myself and seeing the transformation in my own life, and that it changed me as a person, just having a past life session. And then I've seen, clients come to me who have had physical ailments, and they go back to a past life and they're weird, like random, I've felt this way my whole life. That weird physical thing goes away just from seeing it. So these are, significant things. But anyways, so when we believe something and we allow these patterns to continually repeat, the reason why they are repeating is they are being presented to you so that you can say, ooh, I want to do this again. Ooh, I don't want to do this again, because not all patterns are bad, right? Some people have a lot of positive patterns. Let's say that you were born into a family where you did not need to worry about money. Well, you're probably going to go your whole life and not have to worry about money, and it's not because your parents are going to be paying for everything for you. That might be the case. You might believe that, and so then they might. But it's because you've never experienced the lack, and therefore you don't believe in it. You believe in the abundance because that's what you've experienced. So you're believing in it, and so it's playing out in your life. So then let's say that you grew up and you didn't have a lot. So how did you make your way out of that? Well, you had to gain some beliefs around there of, I can make it. I'm going to set myself free. I'm going to work real hard, and then this is what's going to happen. But if you haven't actually changed the underlying beliefs that are there from when you were young, maybe you'll make a whole bunch and then it's all going to disappear. Because if those beliefs are still dictating, if you haven't changed them, if you haven't healed them, then it's going to come back and it's going to be presented to you again. And then you're going to be like, dang it, now I'm going to work hard again and I got to earn that all back. And then the same pattern is going to repeat again and again and again and again and again, because you have not healed it. Now, what do I mean when I say healed it? I mean change the belief. Change it from something that is false to something that is true. So let's say that you're a little kid and your parents are, really mean to you, or abusive, whatever, just not good. And so because you are, let's say, neglected, maybe even actually abused, whatever it happens to be, you will develop all of these beliefs around your self-worth. Why? Because when we are born here into this world, we come from the truth. We're birthed from the truth. We're put into our mother's womb, and then we're here. Then we're no longer in that place of divine truth anymore. We're still aware of it when we're very young, still aware of it, but we're not living in it full time like we were previous to coming here. So then what happens? Well, we pick up on the energy from our mother. So I've had many clients who will regress back to the womb, feeling unloved, unwanted. They've felt this way their whole life, and they really have felt this way their whole life because it began in the womb. So they picked up mom's energy, and it is now being carried in their energetic field, and it's playing out in their life. And so because they believe, I'm not wanted and I'm not lovable because mom didn't want them and mom didn't love them, which that's no fault of their own, that's mom's deal. But you did happen to be the one who has to have the consequences of this. Now, this is not a negative thing. If this was the case for you, this happened, and it will be in alignment with your purpose. The reason why you ended up with that mother or father or abusive situation, whatever it happened to be, was because you needed that to happen. There was purposefulness behind it. You needed it to happen so you could be who you are today. Because for certain, if this happens to be you, for certain you would be a completely different person today, had you had a different life growing up. You'd be totally different. And so these things needed to play out the way that they played out for a purpose. But when these things play out, then what's going to happen? So let's say you're born into the world and you believe that you're unwanted and unloved. Okay, well then what's going to happen throughout the rest of your life? You are going to have situations and things that come up that confirm this for you over and over and over and over again. Repeating patterns. Why? Because we don't even know that we have them. We don't even know that we're carrying them. We don't even know. We don't even know. So as soon as we become aware, then we can change them. We can change them. So I've regressed many people back. So what happens? They go back to the womb and they're like, well, I'm unwanted and I'm unloved. Okay, well, let's examine this. Was it you specifically, you as a soul, that your mom didn't want or that your mom didn't love? Or did she just not want a baby at all? She couldn't handle it. Okay, well, yeah, that's typically the case, right? It's never you specifically, but who knows what mom was going through. And so we view this a little bit differently, okay? And then we go and we take your higher self in there, or yourself now, and we go and we comfort that little baby in there, and we give them your love. We give that baby your love. But when we're doing this on a soul level, when we're doing subconscious work like this, it's completely different than me talking to you right now. This is conscious. This is completely different than what happens when we do it subconsciously. Because when we do it subconsciously on a soul level, on a subconscious soul level, it actually changes things. It actually changes the way that you believe and the way that you feel and the way that you think. So let's say we go back into the womb and we heal this. Okay, well, what goes on now? You've probably had, I don't know how many relationships, how many friendships, how many situations, maybe even work, career, all of these things that have played out that have been a disappointment to you. And every single one of them has proven to you that I'm not wanted and I'm not lovable. But yet this is not the truth, because you are wanted and you are lovable. But it is the belief that you hold within you that is what plays out, and that we believe it to be true even though it's not the truth. So when we go in and we heal these things and then we change them, so then we have you perceive it more honestly, more truthfully, that you know what, we needed mom to be that mean woman that she was, that harsh, mean woman, because now it made me be very independent. And it made me have to go out and search for this and search for that, and it made me become a stronger person, and it pushed me towards these people who now put me in alignment with the purpose and what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm helping people, or it pushed me in this direction because of that thing that happened. And you can see that there was purposefulness behind it, meaning there was intelligence in it, meaning it was done for you. And truly, people have resentments towards their parents or towards their exes or previous relationships or friendships that they had in the past, but there's truly nothing to forgive. With the purpose and what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm helping people, or it pushed me in this direction because of that thing that happened. And you can see that there was purposefulness behind it, meaning there was intelligence in it, meaning it was done for you. And truly, people have resentments towards their parents or towards their exes or previous relationships or friendships that they had in the past, but there's truly nothing to forgive. With the purpose and what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm helping people, or it pushed me in this direction because of that thing that happened. And you can see that there was purposefulness behind it, meaning there was intelligence in it, meaning it was done for you. And truly, people have resentments towards their parents or towards their exes or previous relationships or friendships that they had in the past, but there's truly nothing to forgive. With the purpose and what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm helping people, or it pushed me in this direction because of that thing that happened. And you can see that there was purposefulness behind it, meaning there was intelligence in it, meaning it was done for you. And truly, people have resentments towards their parents or towards their exes or previous relationships or friendships that they had in the past, but there's truly nothing to forgive. With the purpose and what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm helping